Hi, this is Julianne, and today I want to show you how I make my gravy. So it's a plant-based gravy, but I've brought it to people's houses that are not vegan and not plant-based and not vegetarian, and they actually really loved it. So first of all, what I'm going to do is simply wash, peel all the vegetables, and what we're gonna do is roughly chop them and then just put them in the pot. So first thing is actually that's gonna be easy. I'm gonna do the 2 cloves of garlic, 1 onion. Now my onions were so small that I put 3 little small ones. So we're just gonna roughly chop them, and then we're going to roughly chop 2 carrots. You can actually leave the skin on if they're nice and fresh, and then you can just basically wash them. In my case, it's not the season right now, so the carrots I didn't find look the best. Here you go. So roughly chop. And now to make the gravy thick, or to have a nice creamy consistency, not creamy, but like starchy consistency, I'm adding 2 little potatoes. I'm going to leave the skin on, and this one didn't have a nice skin, so I just peeled it. So again, we're just going to roughly chop them, and that is going to add for the consistency and the end result. So here you go, just as simple as that, roughly chopped, because this is going to simmer and we're gonna cook it up until it's nice and soft. Then we're gonna use, for this recipe, we're gonna use 2 cups of mushrooms. Now I have white mushrooms today, but you can use mini bellas, you can use creminis, you can use portobello, you can use some white, and then you can use some dehydrated mushroom. So just whatever mushroom you prefer, or whatever you have is fine. You can mix, again, different mushrooms. Yeah, I'm just doing this simple recipe today. So I'm going with the standard simple white mushrooms. Again, we're just going to roughly chop them. In this case, I'm cutting them in 4. I think it's gonna cook evenly. So here you go. We have roughly 2 cups of mushrooms. There you go. I think this pot's gonna be small. Okay, so now we're going to add the seasoning of this gravy. So we're going to use Bragg's soy seasoning. So it's basically like soy sauce, but gluten-free. So I'm gonna use a 1/4 cup. This also adds the sodium in this recipe because the gravy is usually super salty, so you want to have a salty taste. So here we have a 1/4 cup. Then I will use my Italian herb mix. So if you haven't seen the video, just scroll down my page, scroll down my YouTube channel, because I also shared how I make my Italian herb mix blend. Italian herb blend. So I will be adding 2 teaspoons. So 1, 2. And I will also add 1 teaspoon of rosemary. Here we go. And 1 teaspoon of thyme. 1 teaspoon of thyme. and that's it. So we're just gonna add the water now. So we're going to add 6 cups of water. So get the most filtered water that you can get, so that you don't use like tap water with chlorine or fluoride. You can get osmosis water or spring water. There we go. So this is gonna be much. I think I'm gonna transfer it because I don't want it to overspill on my stove. I'm back with my transferred mix. So this is how easy it is. You just put all the ingredients in a pot, roughly chopped. It takes a few minutes to just put that in. Now we're gonna put this on the stove. We're gonna bring it to a boil, and once it's boiling, we're gonna bring the temperature down to a low temperature so that it can simply gently simmer up until all the ingredients are nice and soft. Now the time, it depends on how big you cut the vegetables. You saw I have big carrots, so it might take a little bit more time to cook those through. So I'm gonna let it simmer for about 30 minutes. So I will be right back. So I didn't want to wait too long to blend the gravy, so I want to keep it warm. I'm just going to transfer the vegetables into the blender, and then I'm going to pour the liquid back in. I'm just doing it this way so that it doesn't splash. So basically what this gravy is boiled, cooked vegetables. So I'm gonna be pouring this in here. With all the herbs. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and blend that until smooth. And I am back with the gravy, and this smells so delicious. It really smells very good. So I can't wait to try it. I don't know if you guys can see how this looks. Now there's a few bubbles because I just blend it. It's perfect consistency. Perfect. So if you were to make, I like to have like fries or potatoes, any kind, like you can cut the potatoes the way you want it, but potatoes, and then just have that awesome gravy. Or you can make a healthy version of a poutine, which is fries and gravy, and you can put like green peas in there. You can put steam or cooked vegetables in there, but that's so delicious. So I don't know if you guys can see, it's still super warm. The steam is coming out. I'm just going to do a taste test. And it's still pretty warm, so this is perfect. Perfect. This is delicious. So I can't wait for my potatoes to be done so that I can eat them with the gravy. So this recipe makes exactly the full Vitamix, which is about 8. So I would say this is about 8 and or a little bit. So 8 cups and a quarter or a half. So 8, no, not a half. Maybe 8 and a quarter cup. So what I'll do is I'll just transfer this in jars. Now, if you have sterilized jars, you can also seal them so that they can stay at room temperature. Otherwise, you can put them in mason jars to go in the freezer, but just make sure that you leave some room on top for the expansion. And we will eat some today, and we're gonna keep some for later. So I like to make big batches so that I don't have to spend that much time in the kitchen. I'm doing it once and I have a bunch of recipes. I can use it a few times, but I only made it once. So if you like this video, make sure you click the thumbs up. If you have any questions, just comment below. And if you think that people can benefit from this recipe, you can definitely share it out on Facebook. And if you also believe that there's a few specific people that could benefit from this recipe, please share it by email. So I hope that you guys enjoy this recipe, and I will see you again very soon.